Hey, come on in, Brad Paisley.
How's it going, guys?
Hi, Brad.
Man,
How you doing?
the young legend, Brad Paisley.
How are you?
Is that a good title? Because I feel like
Good,
I think legend is it doesn't.
Legend sort of implies
you're done, right?
about to die.
Right, and you got a lot left in the tank.
I hope.
But the young legend is like, okay, right?
I don't know.
Well, do you like legend, but you're not supposed to like it?
Right?
Like, if someone calls you a legend,
No.
you're like, oh, no, but you got to kind of like
No,
it.
you don't want to be a legend because a legend is sort of like, you know, yeah, it's like body of work.
Right.
Yeah, you had a great run.
Oh, like there is
You
an
think
end to this
Legend's
body of
done?
work.
That's the Legend's like reunion tour.
Right,
You
right.
think legend kind of states that you're almost at the end as opposed to still young with a lot of
I
stuff?
would think so.
Garth Brooks is a legend.
Well, yeah, but I don't. Yeah,
By
he's not-
choice.
Well, he's a legend because he's accomplished so much.
Right.
I feel like he's also not. He's not anywhere near done. But at the same time, you know, it's more fun to think of myself as young.
Yeah, if you're gray-haired, you could be legend.
Yeah, I got some.
Even if you're
I got
still
a
in the
few-
game.
There's a few grays.
So you're a young legend.
Young legend. That's
Dude,
the
you're
great,
young
that's the great-
legend.
The young
bro.
You can't get out of
You're
it. You're a young legend. It's okay.
It's
Legend.
a fact, man. Come on,
Okay.
bro.
All right, I'll take it. I guess.
How do you do with
There's certainly worse things on the internet right now.
Absolutely. We're called all of them.
is success something that like you strive for, or did you just want to be a musician? Because the level of success that you've achieved through your music is like unbelievable. Like 12 million albums sold, 10 or something gold albums. Like it's
I feel like
crazy.
I feel like you know, success is the type of thing that in all honesty, it sounds like I'm this is canned, but it's really true. It's all about, you know, am I happy with the music I'm making, and the fact that I've been able to make a good living and play for audiences with this music that I like to do. I'm pretty happy because nobody ever made me be something I didn't want to be.
right.
What's the difference between country music now and like older country music? Like, is it like more appealing to like young people now? Because I never listened to it. Like Johnny Cash is kind of like the person who's a novice listens to country music.
Absolutely, yeah. And Johnny Cash that's as good as it gets. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. Johnny Cash doesn't sound like other people. Like Johnny Cash, you know, he wasn't necessarily typical of the era he was in. That's maybe why he's one of the greatest of all time. Is that Johnny was like, you know, it's Johnny. It sounded like Johnny.
Yeah.
It's like a Michael Jackson song is always a Michael Jackson song. Doesn't matter what he does.
No doubt about it.
Unless the weekend doesn't.
Yeah, even
Yeah. Or Alien Ant Farm. They do a good job.
Dude, Alien Ant Farm killed it.
They did a
That's
nice
right.
job with Smooth Criminal.
But the old country music was I like to think of it as different. It was different topics. I mean, you know, they talked about trains and prison and some things like that. And we don't necessarily do that, but you know, we've evolved in terms of the stuff that we talk about. Although we've regressed lately. Because
What
a lot
about
of,
female country? I can't get into it. It's too violent.
He likes
I can't
men.
do it.
What are you, blind?
They're too violent. I can look at them, beautiful ladies,
they
but
do
it's
kill
too,
guys a lot.
It's too violent.
They
It's
beat
too-
they beat
Are
them
you
up.
are you insecure with the female empowerment?
I'm insecure with females murdering.
Oh.
What's the song about the
Every
girl
song
who wrecks
that-
the guy's car?
Every song.
Carrie does that.
Carrie Underwood, right? I love that song.
It's every
Before he
song.
cheats.
They're
Yeah.
poisoning before he didn't even
We
cheat yet.
deserve it, though.
Do
you
we?
know we did. Yes.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
falling into
I
the
think we
trap of these
deserve it.
female country stars. They got you bullied. You have
Maybe.
to be
You're probably
PC
right.
over
I'm
here, okay?
certainly-
You can
I'm
fight back,
I'm a
Brett.
whip dog sitting over here.
Fight back against these spiteful, vengeful female country
I
stars.
actually did one on a couple albums ago that was like the male version of that, where it was a song called Karate. I really love the song. I had Charlie Daniels actually rap in it.
That's awesome.
Because Charlie was like the original rapper. Nobody thinks about that. But think about Devil Went Down to Georgia. There was no rap yet.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it was, you
Blondie
know?
got big credit for rap, I guess, but Charlie Daniels did do that song before Rapture, right?
I don't know, but it's around that time. But he didn't know that he was doing rap. But you
So
know,
you're saying rap was appropriated from country music?
That's right.
in that sense, yeah. When you do it
Hot
like
take. Hot take, Brad. Hot take, Brad. Wow.
it can be, yeah. Let's
Cut it. Send it to TMZ.
But
Let's go.
there are no definitive statements that always work. But I feel like in this case, with the song that I was doing, I had a good time. It was a song called Karate, and what it is it's about this woman that's in an abusive relationship, and the whole song she's training to basically like kick his ass.
So like a J-Lo movie.
Yeah, it's a little like that. It's exactly like that. And then by the end, it's like basically she comes home and he's been drinking again, and it's all that. The chorus is about you know, he's in a bar chasing Cuervo with Tecate. He doesn't know she's been taking karate. Is the actual,
You had to find a liquor, something that rhymed with karate.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was great. And Tecate's perfect. And then because that's a pretty redneck beer too.
It's very difficult to do the reverse though. Like
What's that?
The men getting
Sometimes
their
you gotta
revenge.
beat your annoying wife. What about that song?
I don't think so.
The only one that I
they
heard,
did those, by the way, in the '60s. I think
Sure.
that is the difference. Now
Garth,
we've
Garth
come
Brooks
back
got
around.
away with it.
What do you mean? He had a song where
Mama's in the graveyard, Papa's in the pen.
No.
Oh.
Papa's in the graveyard. You got it backwards.
I
It's
do?
still again
Yes.
the guy died. Yeah.
Listen, sometimes you switch it up for
But
what
didn't the
you
guy
like.
drive his truck into the motel?
Oh, you're right. You know what? You know
Yeah.
more about it than me. You're a big fan.
Brad.
Yeah.
No, he just
We
likes
got a
those kind
Garth
of
fan over
scenarios.
here.
We do, don't we?
Yeah, but that's, I mean, other
You
than
had
that.
you had the truck stop shirt. You had the
I
the
did. I
piping and the flames on it. and all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
That's
like
me.
one song Garth Brooks did. He did a cover of "Hard Luck Woman" by Kiss. Did you ever hear that song? He
Yeah,
does?
he would nail stuff like that. When he covered Billy Joel, it was good too. He used to do "You May Be Right."
Do you cover any rock? I love like that is my favorite shit that Johnny Cash did with like Rick Rubin when he covered all
Yeah.
those Danzig and all those
Oh yeah,
Nine Inch Nails.
I'll do whatever I can get away with that fits my voice. Like I love to do Layla, the acoustic version of that. That's my favorite rock song of all time.
It is.
But you know just the flat out '70s rock record on Layla to me is there's just never been anything cooler as far as a guitar lick or even what it's about. And then but I love the MTV Unplugged version he did, so I'll cover
Clapton.
that from time to time.
Yeah.
Layla's clapped. You got
Yes.
me on my knees lately.
Yeah.
And you're promoting a comedy tour, so like I guess you've always been a comedy fan, and you're down from you're in Nashville, and you had gone to that Wild West festival.
Yeah, well, I hosted a night for the last 3 years, and where I would write specifically songs and some bits, and love the stand-up comedy world, and started getting into that and getting to know a few of these guys that are a part of the special. And and for a long time, when I first started as a kid, I was singing. I was from a little town of 1,200 people, and so I was booked solid. I was, it was the Lions Club luncheon, and then the mother-daughter banquet at the local Methodist church. I mean, I was able to get $50 a night anytime I wanted to go sing. But I learned early on that it's like, okay, you can sing these songs, but it's what's happening between the songs that's really sort of where people will judge whether or not they had a good time. Because there's nothing worse to me than going to see a performer where nothing happens between songs. Like
We just saw Guns N' Roses, and they were great. And I was like, I wish Axl had talked to the crowd a little bit more.
Yeah.
As amazing as the show was, he didn't talk to the crowd at all. I was like,
Not at
I
all?
kind of
He
like
didn't
when
say
there's
anything?
not
Nothing.
really. No, I kind of like when there's a little interaction.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it-
especially on acoustic nights. Like if there's a night where there's, and so I learned quickly some of those little things in your bag of tricks that always work, that, ways to do that. And so this is an expansion of that, trying to do stand up and also hosting the CMA Awards every year, like Carrie and I have done. We write that, and we've worked on our shtick quite a
Carrie
lot.
Underwood.
Yeah.
Or do you feel that she would be violent at any point in time?
Oh, definitely. Are you kidding me? She's
That's a
killed
violent woman.
Way more
Yeah.
people than.
Where's
yes.
the Christianity?
Well,
Where's
I
the
think-
forgiveness?
I think that it says in the Bible that you can kill a man. When a woman kills a man, it's okay. I think that's Philippians. Isn't that Philippians or something?
I remember that part.
Yes.
I do remember that part as well.
Do you get laughs on stage when you're in between songs?
Yeah, I try.
Do you know, because I've watched, I love Elvis, and Elvis is the only icon who has ever bombed in front of his own crowd. He's the best. Elvis would tell jokes, and they would never get laughs. He was just I guess he was on pills. He didn't give a shit. But it was just fun to watch Elvis, barreling out jokes, and then they were just getting nothing from the audience. It was so great to watch this guy bombing in front of his own crowd.
I will roast my audience, and they've gotten to know me enough that I can get away with it. Like, how there's a lot of sort of pandering to your audience in rock or country music, because you stand up there and it's like, this is the greatest city in all the world. I'll stand up and I'll go, what do you people live here for? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do that in the middle of a concert. Minneapolis. It's like, yeah, Minneapolis, it's great to be here. No, it's not. It's winter. What the hell are we doing here?
Is there something about like comedy where when you do something as well as you've done country music, I'd say you've mastered country music. Not that you're finished
About that, but
well, you've done.
you keep going back to finished.
You've
My
done
God.
very, very well.
He's trying to
but
get you out the paint, bro.
Yeah, I know.
do you look at like a comedian and go like, that's something I'd like to really master as well?
Yeah, oh yeah, I totally
You know what I
do.
mean?
Yes,
Like-
I'm a student of it. I've watched many a stand-up special and sort of studied why, how you get this thread through sort of an evening. Those things where you sort of seamlessly weave into stuff. And it's easy for me when I write a couple songs. I can do that. I'll write something that's kind of, that's a bit. That's actually like, there are songs as writers in Nashville where we write things all the time that don't make the record. and that's all this is. A stand-up special is sort of me saying, "Oh, this is a venue where I can play that song about dating your cousin that we wrote that I would never put on a record, but boy, it kills when I sing it." So you know, and it's kind of fun to do that. But the hard part, like we were saying, is in between songs. It's like, how do you weave them together and do a cohesive bit?
Yeah. And let me just promote Brad. It's called Brad Paisley's Comedy Rodeo. It's a 1-hour special available now on Netflix. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
August
Tuesday,
15th.
August 15th. Sorry. And it's got Mike E. Winfield, who I don't know. David Hasselhoff.
Mike's amazing.
Is he a good comic?
Yes, he's amazing.
I know John Heffron's a buddy of mine. I know Nate Bargatze's really funny.
Nate Bargatze's really
and
funny.
really
also
funny.
John Reap and Sarah Tiana. And so you kind
Sarah's
of...
really funny too.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
Sarah.
And John is John's really funny. The bit that John does in this special is all about how he finds his dad's porno tape. And it's an amazing sort of, and what's crazy is it's kind of PG. The whole thing's PG, his thing, and yet he's talking about finding that tape and what happened, and it's true.
Have you ever done? Because I know John Mayer. I love John because John goes on and John likes to be funny.
Yes,
so he would come down to the Comedy
He's good
Cellar
at it.
sometimes, and he'd go on and just do pure comedy sets.
Yes,
he
he
does.
does stand up.
Did you ever want to do like a pure set where you just go up there and just talk and see
I've
how
done
it
that
goes?
a few.
Oh, you have.
I've done it a lot. Yeah.
How'd it go?
It went great. I actually have done. Kevin Nealon's one of my best friends, and I'll go sit in with him at the Laugh Factory. I've done that before, where we'll go out. He does a new material night, which is fantastic. Which is like, you know, I love that. Where
Sure.
you know, the night that I did it, Jeselnik was there, and he had, you know, it's just people holding. They're holding cue cards,
Sure.
and they're
It's the
just,
best. We have a new joke night at the Cellar.
Fat Black
in New York.
Pussycat around the corner.
Fat
yeah.
Black Pussycat. They do it Monday and Thursdays. It's my favorite show
How
in the
many
city.
bomb? How many like?
What percentage of the jokes?
Yeah.
If your jokes aren't bombing, you're fucking up. It
Yeah.
should be
Yeah,
new.
you shouldn't-
Like,
no, you
Right,
shouldn't be-
right.
you
when I
should be
see
good
people
for
doing
him.
their old stuff, I'm like, what are you wasting
Yeah, what do you
this
want?
for?
Saturday Night Last for $10, you jackass? This is what you're here for, to work on material.
No, exactly.
But it's crazy.
Exactly. And I love that tightrope of all of that. I love it.
The worst is when you're bombing. Like we can always get out of a good bomb, but the worst is when you're bombing and you're like, okay, I'm bombing. Now let me pull out.
Yeah.
And you can't. That's the worst. When you think like the tricks that normally get you out of it when
Yes.
they don't, and you're like, oh my God, I'm like legitimately fucking bombing.
There's a moment in this special that's my favorite moment of the whole thing, which is 100% just I am about to bomb because I out of the blue decide I didn't prepare it, but I had written a song for my wedding. My wife wanted a song, and I was like, I've written you like 10 songs. That's why you're marrying me.
Right.
She's like, no, I want one for our wedding. I want one that you just wrote for this. And I'm like, that's not fair. You know, Little Moments was like number 2 on the chart. I'm not gonna, she's like, no, but you wrote that to win me over. I want one now. You know, and so I like had this assignment, and so I wrote a song.
That's the cousin fucking one.
That's later. That one's pure fantasy. This one's all true. This is called the Toilet Seat Song, and because we went to some 2-bit hack counselor that her entire like problem that she found, like premarital counseling, her entire problem was that I don't put the toilet seat down. That was the main issue we were going to have in our marriage.
Jim's got a great solution for that.
She should put it up.
No, I just date trans women, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, thanks.
Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
All right. Nice little smooth lead in there. Thank you.
don't even-
boy.
Alley-oop?
Yep. You
You
did.
don't
I
even
grounded
have
the
a
second.
toilet seat. He just doesn't even. You don't even bolt the thing on the thing, do you?
That's absolutely amazing, though. That's somebody's job. You've paid a person
Sure.
to let you know, this could be an issue if you keep leaving the toilet seat
You
up.
sound
Oh, thanks.
just like her.
I don't know why they want us to leave the toilet seat down. That just gets it peed on more.
I
Yeah.
know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
But basically, with the special, I pulled that out of my butt. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to play this one because you never know, it might make the special. And I said, I talk about this and why I wrote this song, and I'm about to sing it. But see, I had actually been doing this for 10 years. This song, and I start to sing it, and I can't remember the opening line or the second line. And so, luckily, there were a lot of my fans in the audience, and I was like, does anybody have the lyric on this? And they did. Like somebody,
Wow.
and we left all that in there. Like it's me going through the audience, getting a phone, reading it off the phone as I'm doing the song, and it works. It's my
That's
favorite
great.
thing in the whole special.
Yeah, because for a comedian, you don't remember the joke, and for a singer, I've never seen a singer not remember a song before. I would love to watch someone as good as you fumbling to get the
You'll
lyrics.
get to see that.
Yeah, good.
Go to a Nas show.
That's worth your $10.
Nas doesn't remember any of his lyrics when he raps. It's hilarious.
I love that. Ozzy would always sing because he was dyslexic, so he would always sing the verses in reverse. He would always sing the lines in reverse, or he would fuck up and sing the same one twice. I loved it. I love when a live show comes apart
Going off
a
the
little.
train and the crazy rails.
Yeah. Just a little bit of a falling apart makes a
Yeah.
live show. That's why people like stand up, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
It's
why
real.
when someone heckles,
Yeah.
everybody shuts up to listen to your response.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
crowd
awesome.
work always
It's
gets a big reaction.
I love
Yeah.
Have you been
hecklers.
heckled?
Oh yeah, in concert, the main heckle that happens in concert, like last night, there was a girl who just and you know I pretended not hear because you got the ear monitor
Yeah.
in and we're playing really loud, but she was louder, and she just kept yelling. She just kept like getting closer and moving up to the front row and just yelling, "It's my birthday!" Just yelling, "It's my birthday!" over and over again. And I swear she did that for 2 hours last night. Every single song. It's my birthday. It's like, what do you want?
Did you acknowledge it at all or not?
Nah, it was easier not to because I didn't know. I could tell she was the one that it would not end. If I'd acknowledged, there
Yeah.
would have been no way out.
Or it would have been great if he went, "Did anybody have any birthdays?" Then when she screamed, went, "All right, no one," and then went back and
All right, you just gave me a bit. Thank you.
and played another song. But to stand there and scream in a live performance, it's so crazy.
Dude.
Have you got nasty heckles though?
Yeah.
Like that was a nice heckle, and those are harder because a nice heckle
Yeah.
is like somebody's trying to have fun with you.
You're trying to be
So
nice.
you can't,
Yeah,
you can't
can't-
shit on them because they actually really love you.
They
They,
love
just
you, yeah.
don't know what they're doing is wrong. Yeah, those are the words. "You're my favorite," and it's like, I
I
gotta
know.
cut
I know.
you
Well,
off.
thank you.
But
And,
what about what's the worst thing anybody said to you? Do they try to roast you?
Nah, that's the beauty of being a musician. Typically, you're pretty loud. You
Yeah.
know? And I mean, for the most part, it's sort of like it's more like mad that you didn't sing what they wanted. Or
Right.
something. Like sing. It was fun in Sweden the other day because we just toured there, and they're a different audience. They don't know which songs were hits. So all the way back to my first album, which is 17 years ago now. I mean, we're talking about they know the words to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like line there, and there was somebody holding up a note that said, or a big thing that said "Play Cloud of Dust." That's like track 7, first album. It's about a drought in Texas. It has nothing to do with Sweden, and not only that, but I haven't sung it since like 1999.
Could you remember the words if you had to, or no?
No way. And I looked down and I'm like, and they're like, and they were really great people. You could see them. They had waited forever and they're wanting to hear Cloud of Dust. And I'm like, I would do that for you if I knew the first word of it. And I don't even know any of it. I know the hook is Cloud of Dust.
Yeah.
And so the next night they wrote them out on poster board.
Wow.
Did you sing it?
Yeah.
Off the poster
used-
board.
Yeah, I used cue cards and did this
That's
damn song.
amazing.
Does your voice go at all? Because being a singer seems like so much fun, but then you guys have to worry about your voice going. So what do you do if your voice is kind of shut?
I'm typically very good, knock on wood, about knowing when I'm reaching that line and shutting up. And that's the thing. I haven't ever, the only time I ever had to cancel Austin City Limits once and come back and do it later because I had lost my voice. And the only other thing I had that weekend was a private show in Texas for a corporation, and they didn't care if I could sing or not. So I basically went and did that and sounded terrible.
Oh, really?
And
Did you tell them before, like, "Hey, look, this is not"?
yeah, they didn't care. You know what I mean? It was like people eating dinner and, in suits.
They're
and-
just happy that you were there doing a gig.
yeah.
They
I would
just
like
want to
say,
meet
y'all-
you. That's
y'all
what it's
sing it.
about.
No, yeah, exactly.
Question. Okay. I grew up here in New York City. And look, a lot of times you would hear people say this sentence. What's your favorite type of music? I like all types of music except country.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There's a prejudice against
There's
country.
a prejudice against country. I
Some people
admittedly
can't
had
wait to
it.
tell me that.
Why? What is this about? I just found country, by the way. Who put me on? Was it you put me on?
No, I put you onto some more stuff once you got started.
I
But
think it's multi-layered. It's sort of like the twang aspect of it. Some of the stuff it doesn't have as much of that anymore as it used to. I mean, and in my opinion, unfortunately, but it's easier. It's more palatable now because it sort of more represents. I mean, it sounds a little more like 70s rock, honestly, or even pop. But I think that there's a twang aspect that you just associate that steel guitar and that twangy guitar thing that rubs certain New Yorkers their own way, maybe. And I think that, but it's an acquired thing. It's like your first sip of beer is sort of, typically kind of like, what is this all about?
It's
And
also
then you start to know the
unless
nuances
that
of
beer
it.
is Rascal Flatts.
Well, that's true.
It's also associated, and probably unfairly so, for a long time. People were seeing like, well, you're racist like country. It's associated with bad social things, even though there's no connection to the guys doing it now at all. But
Right.
it probably has that. It's like people say with rap, they think, oh, the guys are shooting each other. It has a weird association.
Well, they also think that the subject matter isn't relatable. Like if you live in New York City and we're singing about tractors, and that was the thing that I always wondered too. It's similar to like going over
White
to
people love NWA.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they cannot relate to
Absolutely.
fuck the police at all.
No,
So-
we just love saying the name of the group.
Yeah, right.
Safe expression.
But I think like when you think about, it's the same reason why it worked for me to sing country music in Sweden. They don't have 4-wheel drives and go mud bogging in Sweden. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
They're not- But and they also don't wear cowboy hats typically.
Right.
But when I come to town and we do something, they're decked out. I mean, they're it's chaps and holsters. They're like ready. They think this is the Wild West.